Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadidamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Katopanishad, Prathama Adhyayam, Prathamavalli, Mantra 28. Mantra, here it goes. Ajiryatamamurtanamupedya jiryan martyakvadasta prajanan avidyayan varanarati pramodan dirga jivite korameta. So, just in verse, poised for a subjective knowledge on one, freed from disease and death. Those privileged being in paradise, they liveth. The one who took passport for a visit to the plain that teacheth, endowed with hedonistic life at length, the one well scrutinized of the impermanence as he witnesseth, dare will one choose for voluptuous pleasures as proposeth. What is the gist of the mantra? Yama keeps on luring educators with many offers. So, he keeps rejecting by explaining that whatever he offered was impermanent. So Nachiketas is so knowledgeable and so mature, and he having already now seen the pleasures of the Sargaloka, merits of Sargaloka, he rejects by saying the following in the mantra. He says, I am a mortal who has a decaying and limited life. Now I have had the privilege to have seen the inhabitants of Devaloka who are non-decaying and deathless, Ajiryatam and Amritana. So will never attach a pleasure to a cheap, transient and impermanent worldly things. The Dhiras who are all well aware of the above knowledge, those blessed with even though blessed with a longer life, will not prefer such ephemeral pleasures. And now let us go for the brief explanation. We see in this mantra that Nachiketas, who is given an opportunity to visit the Swarga and Yamaloka, where he could observe that the inhabitants are free from aging, Ajiryatam, and also deathless. They are Amritana, they are enjoying the nectar. So, having been given an option to weigh the merits and demerits of the living conditions of Sargaloka and Ihaloka, he says, I would not accept whatever you offer. So here we see the pada Ajiryan Martya, that is the inhabitants of Bhuloka or having that impermanent life. So the higher planes living like in the Swarga do not get exposed to these deficiencies. When there is a fruit on one hand and raw one on the other hand, a common man would prefer only the fruit. Here, Kwadasta is a word, pada given, ku ataha tataha. So, the one in Bhuloka and the one in Swargaloka, if one is able to weigh the conditions, would never prefer the impermanent one. He says, inhabitants of Sarga are not subject to hunger, sufferings, and death. They are able to have the privilege of having tasted the nectar, and they have unlimited bhogas that do not erode their sense and virility. So he says, total contrast is the state of Bulokavasi, the one who lives in lower planes is subjected to Jirya, Martya. So a Viveki, a learned man of basic knowledge, basic wisdom, would not prefer Buloka. And elongated at the longevity of living on earth with these alpabhogas that would give only temporary sensual pleasures, who would opt for it? So he also says the elongated life on earth will only expose one to dukkha. So now here we take a reference from Patanjali Muni's Yoga Sutra, where he classifies dukkhas as thama dukkham, parinama dukkham, samskara dukkham, and gunavriddhi dukkham. So he concludes that the one Viveki who is able to contemplate on the pluses and minuses would never opt for earthly pleasures. All these are absolutely temporary, and I seek only Atma Anubhuti. So he is very steadfast on his demand on Atma Vidya alone. So he is able to raise all these counters to Yama and insist on the Atma Vidya Upadesham only. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.